All right, welcome to another episode of Leg Day at Rhinos Fitness. We're going to be doing a lot of hamstring focused training today. Yeah, there's not much I could say. We're going to get started, warmed up. I'm going to start with some standing hamstring curls and go from there. I've kind of rigged this guy up. This one's a seated machine normally, but it looks like I can do some standing curls with it. So we're going to start with that. I'm going to get right into this here. Stand and up. Just gonna get warm here with the blood flowing. Oh, oh, ooh! It really hits the fat part, the middle. Ooh, right in the middle of that hamstring. It's pretty good. We're gonna do a couple more sets. This is gonna be warm up. I'm not gonna get too heavy on these guys to start. And we'll go from there. All right, set number 2, same exact thing. We'll get into this guy. Straight up and down. Ow! Oh man, that's a gnarly pull right there. Whew. Whew. Oh. Whew. Oh, that's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. This is the first time I've just tried this on here. Normally seated hamstring machines. Seated curl machines. You're not able to do standing with. I've seen people do it before in other places, but that don't have a standing hamstring machine. So this is good to know I could do. The hard part is keeping the top of the leg flat against the pad on the curl up, but that's just me. I'm pretty sure if I was about 10 pounds lighter, it would be better. But I'm just leaving it there. I feel it extremely. Feel it in my hamstrings to start, so I'm happy. Take a little break, get some water. We're gonna do one more set. These are gonna be done. And then I'm gonna probably move on to some calves. All right. Last set, standing hamstring. Oh. Oh yeah. You gotta really come forward on this one. There we go. Only took me 3 fucking sets. Keep my leg, stay planted. Oh shit. That's a gooder. Might do another set of those now. I don't know. That's good. That's exactly like a hamstring, standing hamstring curl should feel like. I gotta get that angle going this way more so I can keep the leg planted on there. And now thinking about this, when you're doing them standing on the real hamstring machines, you're really over the front because you're actually got your arms on something locked in, bent forward and doing this. So, perfect. And that's why when I started, I was like, fuck, is that pulling a lot? It's because I was so upright, you know what I mean? And I was just stretching it. As soon as I started to go forward, it locked that pad, locked my knee in, and then let the whole hamstring work. But I was just not locked in. It was just like right in the middle of the hamstring, that was it. So, fuck, let's do another one. All right, we're gonna do one more of these guys. Like I said, you're gonna see that I'm gonna be extremely angled forward to get that reach on there. Come forward over the top. I don't know what just happened there. I didn't want to play. Oh yeah. Oh, whew. There, that was 4 sets. Good start, good warm up. Good to know I can do those on there. Sometimes you gotta work with what you have and adapt, and fucking perfect. So it's good to know. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna set up the. We're gonna go to calves next, just to come off the hams for a bit, and then we'll fire it back up. All right, I'm on the seated calf machine. We're gonna warm up again. I mean, even though calves kind of engaged when I was doing the standing, I mean, they're not really working, they're just contracting. I want to warm up the calves before we start throwing weight on too. So same thing, I put a little bit of weight on here. We're gonna get it rolling. Just warm up, it's extremely light. Squeeze them at the top. Seated, calves, and standing are my 2 favorite calf movements. I'm not a big fan of calf pressing. I mean, yes and no. I mean, it's all the same really, but it's what I get a feel for. And actually, I have a feel for everything when it comes to calves. But there's just some that just squeeze a little bit different and whatnot. And seated to me is one of those movements. There's some pretty gnarly seated calf machines out there nowadays, so you can pretty much, well, I mean, it just depends what your gym has and what it doesn't have, but unless you're training at Planet Fitness where they for some reason don't think you should train calves, you should be fine. Okay, so now I got a couple plates on there. See how she goes. I'm sure it'll be just peachy. Just peachy. Whew. I'm just stopping at 16 or whatever the fuck I was on. I'm gonna go up again. When I do calves, most of the time I like to use different tempos. So for a couple sets, I'll go slow, squeeze, pause at the bottom. I mean, it depends. Right now, I'm kind of in between. I'm in like a medium pace, more, you know, towards a quicker pace, I guess. It doesn't matter. Even when I'm training clients and we're, you know, have a nice tempo going, I'll normally have one set where I'm just like, okay, quick, okay, just to fucking pump blood in, and it hurts, man. I mean, this is one movement. Fast isn't necessarily a bad thing for calves if you're feeling it, because it does just keep that muscle contracted quicker for a longer period of time under tension than it would be. Well, I guess it's, I don't know. It to me, it doesn't make a difference as much when it comes to tempo. You always want controlled and smooth. But sometimes with calves, I mean, you're feeling it fast, you're feeling it slow. It doesn't really fucking matter. I like to do it all. Seems when the heavier I get, then I start to slow down and get more control and pausing. And then I might go right back on the next set with heavyweight and just fire 6 real quick ones, or as many real, you know, many reps out as I possibly can at a faster rate. So it's all over the map. This is one movement though. I don't think there's necessarily a proper way or proper speed to do. I think fast is great, slow is great. As long as you're feeling the squeeze and you're in that range of motion, you're gonna feel it. So do it at a nice pace without it getting super fucking ugly, and making sure you're feeling everything. So I'm gonna grab more plates if I can. If I can. And then, all right, so this is a machine too, where I've used a trillion calf machines in my day, seated calf machines. And they're all different to a certain extent with weight and what you can and can't do and how new they are and whatnot. This one was just brought into my gym last week. It's probably turned out to be one of my favorite calf machines I've used. There's a lot of moving parts on it, which I really like. But I don't know exactly how much weight I can go on here. So I'm guessing I'm gonna do 3 plates here now, and we'll see how that goes. I got a feeling we'll be 4+ on here, but I'm not too sure. So we'll just keep going. I mean, that's one thing to remember too when you're training, is if it's new and your strength's going up, don't just stop because it's your 3rd or 4th set. Crank it up, do 1 more set, get it out. If you can do it, fucking do it, right? And then next time, you know, when you start, okay, this is where I ended last time. Let's start here or a little less and then work up and past again. So keep that in mind. All right, locked in. That's getting heavier. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. What do you think? Do we go higher? I think we go higher. Actually, I'm not gonna go higher. I'm not. I'm gonna do another set here. Calves isn't, no, fuck, I'm gonna go higher. Calves isn't always about how much weight you can do. It's a small muscle group. I like to train it with a little bit more volume than weight, but I am gonna go up. I'm just not gonna take it up another 45. I'll probably go up 25 and see how that goes, and then probably the end of it for calves. And we're going to move on to some seated hamstring curls or belt squat or hip press. I should probably do one of the presses next, just to get the, I'll go back to isolated hamstring. Just give her a little rest, let the calves rest. Even though you're not resting them, I don't know. It's just a compound movement, right? So more muscles engaged than just your hamstrings, even though I'm going to try to isolate my ham the most. You get some help, so I don't want to say it's resting them ever. But it's not like it's, a focused isolation movement where sometimes you go back to back on those things and your fucking legs are just fried. So sometimes I like to jump to like a calf or a compound movement just to get the pure isolation feeling away from the hamstring, so to speak. So basically I'm going to put more weight on here and we're going to go from there. I don't know what the fuck we're going to do next, but it's going to be one of those. Okay, so we got more weight on, clearly. We're going to crank out another set of these. I might just leave this on down the road and superset back to it because I love to train calves. So I might just leave it while we're doing a hip press because that's what we're going to do next is hip press. And no, I'm not going to leave these on here. I'm going to use the hip press to do calves with too. So we'll see. Like I'm just spitballing. I know what I'm doing. I know the exercises I'm going to do. I just go in the order I feel, and every time, this is how all my workouts are. Once, it depends how I feel, where I'm going to do them in order, and every time the order changes, right? So I don't leave bench to the end all the time. Say if I'm doing chest, I'll do it at the beginning, or incline, because then it's harder, right? If you're leaving it to the end, you got to remember, well, what the fuck, why is my weight not as strong? Well, we're doing it at the end. So, or why is it more difficult? So you got to keep that in mind, and that's why you do it. And it's just shocking, and I'm a big believer in never letting the body know what's coming next. And a lot of people aren't. A lot of people like to go in and do the same shit over and over and over and over again. And yes, I do the same shit, but not in the same order, not in the same days, not on the same rep ranges. Sometimes I might do cluster sets with them, or back offs, or drop something to intensify the movement. So it's always interesting, and that's what you want to do. If you don't, fuck, I don't know, man. I couldn't go in and do chest if I was doing, say, legs. That's just since we're doing them. I couldn't do the same order every time. I couldn't do standing, calves, leg press, seated, and just do that every leg day. It would, it's not stimulating enough for me. I need to at least move the order around. So, all right, let's do another one of these guys. This thing's hitting me in the balls. Oh, that's got more weight. That got heavy quick. Probably was a good idea not to go to 45 because I don't feel like I was even getting the right range with the 3.5 on there. So we're going to back it off. This is what I mean. Oh, fuck. Oh. 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 Fucking shit, Lord. You know it's a good set when you're screaming like the 3-year-old version. Oh, that burnt. Beautiful. Oh, all right. Good old back off drop set. Did I turn this thing crooked? Yes. Okay, let's move on. All right. I'm gonna do some hip press. I like to keep it tight. on these guys. You notice when you get into a hip press that it's tight, but you want those legs to come in a lot, right into your fucking chest pretty much. So it's gonna be tight starting. We're gonna start with 150 on the stack. Yes, this is stacked weight on this hip press. By the end of it, for me, it does work. I think the stack goes to 200. Yeah, 200. Yeah, so we'll end up doing about 200 pounds on this thing. It's been a while since I used it, so maybe it might be light. I don't fucking know, but we'll find out. Normally when I do leg press with plate loaded, or hip press with the plate loaded, I normally do 4 plates aside, so 8 plates. It's just, I work up to it, so I'll probably start at 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 plates aside I do. It just depends on the hip press. So, they're different, right? Like, even plate loaded stacks, sometimes they're a little heavier, like feel heavier on the movement because of the resistance from the cables and whatnot. So they're all good. I would prefer plate loaded to this. I'm a big plate loaded kind of guy. I don't like cables as much. I use cables all the time, but I like plate loaded shit. I got a feeling this will be really tight. I don't know. Oh god! Yeah, this is extremely tight. So what I'm going to do here is put my feet at the top so I get more hamstring activation and a little wide. Okay? So it's going to come back a little bit more in the back, the hamstrings and the glutes than you would if you were lower, clearly. Just gonna do one more. It's feeling pretty good. Good. Now I'm gonna go directly into a calf press on here. So you drop your toes to the bottom. I'm just gonna calf press it out now. Why am I doing that right now? It's fucking here. If it's really light, like it is, I will pause just to get more of a squeeze in. That's what I mean when I talk about tempo. It's always different. So now I'm going to take the weight up, right to the, I'm just going to max it out and do 2 working sets. At 200. Yeah. And yeah, we'll take a little break. Get my air back. Maybe take some nose spray. I'm quite congested. Alright, let's do a second set here. Feel good? The only part is getting in here. Fuck. It's terrible. Alright, we got the whole stack on here now. Oh, you fucking idiot. Just spray it right on your truck. God. Ah. You hear that? There's a dumb fuck outside of the leaf blower shooting ice and hunks of snow all over my truck. Oh. Oh. Oh, fuck. Oh. Couldn't get down to the caps on that one. Oh, fuck. There was no moving. I probably shouldn't pause halfway through swearing at the guy doing the snow. Kind of put a damper on my... Oh! Whew, that's good. Real good. I get that I'm loud when I train. It helps me breathe, believe it or not. I don't ask. I don't. It's just been a habit on every rep to be like, when it's hard, it's easier to breathe with a bit of a push behind it. And when you're really pushing something, you kind of know what I mean. Anytime something's a struggle, and you're trying to breathe and do whatever, you sometimes make a louder noise, right? So a lot of my training's got grunting in it. It's the people that are able to talk while they're training that I question. If you're able to talk while you're... It's one thing to kind of say a couple words while you're doing a feeder set or something. But if you're on a working set, there's no way you should be able to let any words out of your mouth. It should be that hard that all you can focus on is moving that weight from point A to point B with all your effort and all your air. If you've got extra air for chit-chatting to your training partner or your trainer, you ain't fucking training nearly hard enough. And I say that to my clients all the time. Talk to me when you're done the set. And I take it, right? They finish, and I crank their fucking weight up. Like, what? That was hard. I'm like, it wasn't that hard if you're talking to me. So, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Oh yeah, we take a little break. We're gonna do one more of these guys. We're gonna move on to some seated curls. And then we'll probably be done for the day. All right, let's get this last set taken care of. My hamstrings are actually just screaming right now. I haven't even done a seated hamstring curl yet. And I'm doing a leg press, or a hip press. Not even really, I don't consider hip presses, I don't know, just me, serious. I don't know what it is. They're good exercises, so there's something that, when I think of hip presses, I think of like, leg presses fucking loser cousin. You know, I don't know why I think that way. It's like squatting now. I mean, once you learn that squatting isn't like barbell squatting, even Smith squatting. Smith squatting is better. Once you learn that squatting isn't above fucking barbell squats, remember I'm talking about, not squatting in general. Isn't everything it's cracked up to be. Once you learn that, you will see great change. I think Smith squatting is 10 times better for your legs than barbell squatting, pendulum squatting, hack squatting. I think all that's more important than a normal barbell squat. I think there's too many moving parts that people just can't get a grasp of, and then therefore their legs don't change, and or squatting just might not be for you, but you're doing it because you think it's the exercise to do, and I don't agree with that whatsoever. That's how I used to be. I used to squat every leg day. Nothing would change. I'd hurt, but you know, until I got into some gyms with belt squats, pendulum squats, hack squats, like more variety, then I learned how to that a hack squat will change you, and a pendulum squat will change you 10 times quicker than a fucking normal squat. So it might build a foundation for you, but once you're there, you're there. In my opinion, all you're gonna do is keep adding weight, putting big loads on your back, and fucking injuring yourself. So again, my opinion, that's just what I think. I know lots of people train squat, barbell squat, and have great wheels. But I also know just as many people that have barbell squatted for 15 years that have no wheels. So it's not necessarily the right movement for everybody. So, and it's definitely not the right movement for me. So I have learned that over the years. It went more to my glutes too. So I don't know. I could get strong as fuck on them, but I just wouldn't roll. All right, last one. Give a stack and some love. One more. Love it. Holy mother of pearl, I'm sweating. That's good. That's good. Let's get on one more movement. And that's good. You notice I've only done one back off. That was with my calves. I tried the superset over here, but my legs are just shot to get them down on this thing, so fuck that. Oh, plugged up, can't breathe. Just so you know, the music shuts off when the camera starts rolling. That's why there's no music. It seems if I play the music in here, and only in here when I'm training, they fucking block me in a bunch of countries, which doesn't really matter because nobody follows me anyway. But if I'm in another gym training, music's blaring in the background, nothing ever happens. So I don't know, kind of weird. So I'm gonna go over, I'm gonna set that thing up, and then we're gonna finish with some seated hamstring, which is gonna be interesting. Because I don't even know if I can fucking get up right now. Okay, I'm on here, still huffing and puffing, but we're gonna finish with some hamstring curls. seated. Got 2 plates on here. I have this same fucking machine with cables, seated hamstring curl cables, stack weight. Again, it works good. I just like to feel with this one more, with, well, anything plate weighted, more than cable. So, and I'm gonna pause at the bottom to squeeze, okay? Oh. Oh. Oh, all right. Take a. Okay. Same thing when you're set number 2. Pause at the bottom. Oh, fuck. Hitting the wall quick here. Oh, holy shit. Okay. Oh, yes, it's rolling. I'm locked in. We're gonna do one more set. Finish this nonsense. Oh. 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 Nope. Oh, they're not moving anymore. That's leg day. Over, hamstrings, done. Standing hamstring curl. Calf, seated calf. Hip press, seated hamstring curl. This guy is amazing. I've never used one free weight style with plate weight before. Always have a cable on it. Normally I do about 160 pounds. Here, at 90 pounds with the plates at the end. I'll still do both. I like this. This machine feels amazing, but I'll still use the cables at the other gym. Where I train, there's no seated hamstring curl, plate weighted, so. That's it for leg day. I'm gonna hobble off this fucking thing, drink some water, and get ready for my afternoon of clients. More training. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video, which I keep saying I'm going to put one out a lot more, and I'm still doing one a week, so hopefully we'll get that rolling. We'll see. Stay tuned.